What's up, guys? I was Richard One here, and as you can tell from the title, story time's back. Although I never really left because Hy-Vee Hell is kind of story time with a different name. But anyway, this is a requested video, as probably I'm going to put up there. Yeah, Michael G, and I'm saying Michael G because I don't know if he wants his last name said, and B, I don't think I can say his last name physically. He donated a little bit of scratch to the PayPal, and he was like, "I'd really like to see a story time." And I was like, "Okay, well, you're the buyer. What story do you want to hear?" And I gave him a couple stories to choose from, and he chose this one, which is in the description. So yeah, so we're here to tell the story of how I was in the Super Bowl halftime show, one of the most infamous Super Bowl halftime shows ever, the one with Janet Jackson, showed her titties. Or titty, I should say. A lot of people don't... a lot of my friends do know I was in that show, but, some people are shocked to know that I was actually there. And I don't mean like I was in the stands, I was at the game. No, I mean like there's the stands, and then like for the halftime show, there's the show on the field, and then there's the crowd on the field. That's where I was. And I guess where I could tell you how that came about was... one day in school, our drama teacher was just like, we were practicing for something. I think it was for the Peter Pan play we were doing for the kids. I think that's what it was. I wasn't involved with that. I think I mainly just sat on the sidelines and flirted with girls. He was like, okay, tomorrow we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And, read the script, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, okay, cool, sounds good. And he's like, all right, cool. And he turns around. And he's like, oh, yeah, wait, I forgot to ask you guys almost. You guys want to be in the Super Bowl halftime show? Like, he said it like that's the most normal fucking thing in the world. Like, that, oh, yeah, by the way, you want to be in the Super Bowl? Or like, oh, hey, by the way, you want $1 million? That's how he said it to us. And we're all just like, huh? Like, what did you just say? And we're like, hell yeah, we want to be in the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, what the fuck? Because we knew the Super Bowl was coming to Houston that year. This is where it happened, Houston. So we all knew it was coming to Houston. So we're like, fuck yeah, we want to be in there. They were asking all the high schools in the Houston area to be a part of that crowd in there. So we're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. The first thing first that we get the contract. And the contract is basically saying we don't get tickets to the game. Like, we did not see one speck of fucking football game while we were there. I'll tell you that right off the bat. We did not see one speck of that New England Patriots versus Carolina Panther game. I'll tell you that right now. It was basically, you won't get tickets to the game. You're basically just there to be in the crowd and look pretty and, wave your arms around and all this shit. And also, what you wear at rehearsal, you have to wear at the game, which we found weird. But none of us questioned it because we're like, fuck it, we're going to be in the Super Bowl halftime show. So it was essentially that, and it was like, you will see Janet Jackson, you will see Nelly, you will see this person. So, like, we signed the contract with MTV, who produced the halftime show that year. So, like, legally, myself and everybody else who was a part of that can legally say that, like, hey, I worked with Janet Jackson and Nelly and Kid Rock. And, I mean, it wasn't like, hey, Janet, how's it going today? But, I mean, legally, on paper, we can say, hey, we've worked with Janet Jackson and Jessica Simpson and whoever else was a part of that halftime show. So that's a fun little fact right there. So, anyway, we go to the first day of, quote, rehearsal, and they bring us to some fucking field in the middle of Houston. I don't even know where the hell it was, man. It was some part of Houston I've never even been to. So that was just, it was like the hottest fucking day. Well, every day in Houston's like the hottest fucking day. But that was just like, our placement day. They were just basically telling us where we're going to stand. Like, they basically had like the stage planned out with tape, like yellow caution tape. And they're like, okay, and they called each school by name. Like, we're on one side of the field, of this field, and there's another side with the other bleachers. So basically, they're going to call us by name. We're going to figure out our spot on the field, and we're going to go sit down on the other side. So they call us, man. We fucking book it onto the field, man. I fucking trip. I do a front flip and land right back on my feet like nothing happened. Just keep on running, man. It was sweet, dude. So we get out there, and now we start to fucking realize that shit's not very planned well, you know, because, you know, they get everybody placed, and they're like, okay, now when you see the stage, you're gonna notice your place is a little bit better. When you actually see the stage, you know, the tape's not really doing it, but when you actually see the stage, you'll understand more where you're supposed to be. And we're like, okay, cool. And they're like, well, Janet's going to be right here. And we're, you know, we are a part of a Rhythm Nation. And you guys can do that. We are a part of a, you know. So we're kind of doing like a very, 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 very fucking dry run through. So then they're like, okay, let's all take a break. Everybody just go sit down over here. That break lasted the entire fucking time because we did not touch that field again. But this is where they didn't have shit planned out because it is hot as fuck. It's Houston, Texas. It is hot, humid, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay? There's no drinks. There's no water. They gave us they gave us crackers like these. It was essentially these fucking things right here. This is what they gave us to eat, you know? And then after a while, they were just like, fuck it. They got like the big Sam's Club box of it, and they literally just threw it to us, and they were just like, whoever fucking catches it gets to have it. So it was like one person got like the whole fucking Sam's Club package of these crackers. So it was just like, goddamn, now we gotta suck dick on this person over here from another school that we rival with to, you know, fucking get some crackers so we can eat, you know? Fucking people are just, they're laying on me. Now, I'm not the most attractive person, but when girls are laying on me because it's so hot, you know there's something up, you know, because it was just so freaking hot out there. You know, we're getting sunburned. You know, it is not fun. And we're just like, what, are we going to do something? Are we going to run something? And finally, they're just like, okay, let's have some fun. And we're like, oh, thank God, we're going to do something. And they're like, let's do like American Idol. And we're like, what does this have to do with our Super Bowl halftime show? Like, you know, so they get a couple kids to come down from other schools, and they do, you know, like a miniature American Idol. And then they have like, okay, who has a special talent? And they're like, this one kid was like, I can do a bunch of cartwheels. I was like, well, fuck, I can do that too. You know, so they're like, all right. So they have the kid do like all these cartwheels, because there's also a track field around this stadium. So he does like a whole bunch of cartwheels. I was like, I can beat that. And I'm about to go down there and just show him how it's done. But they're like, okay, well, you know, that's enough of that. You know what? That's it for today. You know, your buses are here. You know, have fun. You know, and we're like, we learned absolutely nothing this day. You know? So that was the first Super Bowl rehearsal, so to speak. So we're on the bus, and we're just like, we're just miserable. I mean, it was like a flight coming back from Las Vegas. It was just quiet, you know. So here's like the side note to that. We're sitting on the bus, and we come to a stoplight, and you know, there's a lot of street vendors, not street vendors per se, but and not even panhandlers, I should say, but a lot of collectors, I should say, in Houston. You'll see a lot of homeless, but you'll also see like the firemen with their boots, or you'll see people like, you know, trying to get a car wash. And well, I don't know what these particular people were trying to sell, but whatever it was, it came with water. Now me, I'm not a big water drinker, okay? But these guys had water, and they were only on the right side of the bus. So, like, I remember it was me, this girl, Rhonda, it was Jonathan, I can't remember all the people, but, like, we're hanging out the right side of the bus, like, begging these kids for water. You know, like, it was, like, something like $1 a bottle, but they were, like, giving it to us, because, like, we were literally, like, the fucking Night of the Living Dead, just like, please, give us water. And they gave it to us, thankfully. So we ended up having, like, 5 bottles of water that we're sharing between, like, I don't know, 28 of us. We're like, okay, you get a sip? Okay, don't take it all now. Okay, you know, we're literally sharing 5 bottles of water until we got back to the school. You know, it was hell that first day. But, not as much hell as this second rehearsal we had. Now, the second rehearsal, they're going to take us out to the actual stadium. Okay? We're doing a double rehearsal that day. We're going to do one outside, and we're actually going to do one inside the stadium. Man, just thinking about this one, man. Okay, so we go there, and it's a cold day this day, because that's Houston for you. One day it's going to be blazing hot, next day it's going to be cold. So it's a little chilly that day, but, you know, we're not thinking anything about it. You know, it's a little chilly, cloudy, you know, whatever. So we get there, and again, they have the taped off shit in the parking lot, this huge empty parking lot. So we have the taped off stuff. So again, we're standing in our spot. We are part of a Rhythm Nation. That's the only part they fucking taught us. You know, thank God they had other songs, because that's the only part they taught us, was we are a part of a rhythm. That's it. That's the only fucking part they taught us, you know? Or rehearsed with us, I guess, would be a better way to put it. So, we're out there doing that and shit. Then, in the middle of the freezing cold, starts raining. And not just like a little drizzle. Well, I lied. Okay, it did start as a little drizzle. But then, you know, so they're like, oh, crap, we need to do something about this. So we're like, oh, okay, the logical solution to this problem would be to, let's go inside. No. That would be too easy. So they go get us all ponchos. Okay, fine. So we all put on a poncho, and we're still standing in this taped off, you know, fake, you know, stage area. You know, so fine. So, then it starts pouring down rain. So these ponchos have a hood on them. Alright, so everybody puts up their hood. I put up my hood. My hood's broken. My hood won't stay up, so fuck it. Hood's down, freezing cold, hair soaking wet, you know. So I'm just like, this is fucking awesome. You know, this is great. You know, pouring down rain, we're out there. But here's something really cool that happened, though. So we're taking a break because of the pouring rain. And, you know, they're not going to teach us anything in the pouring rain. So our school had a step team, you know, where they do that, you know, that shit. You know, I can't do it. So me and this girl, her name is Yaya. Me and Yaya, well, her real name's Jahida, but we call her Yaya for obvious reasons. So me and Yaya, we hear this shit going on, you know, so we're just like, let's go over and check it out. So we go over and check it out, and it's our school doing it. Pouring down fucking rain. It's just like in fucking Step Up. You know, where they're doing that fucking dancing in the rain and shit. The rain is going everywhere. It's awesome. You know, it's cool, man, you know. So we're watching it. It's pretty dope. You know, it's like one of those dope movie moments and stuff. So the other school, I don't remember what school it was. It was another rival school. They start doing it back. So now we're battling. And it's like, it's dope, man. It was like one of the rare times I had school pride for this school because I hated this damn school. And that's a story for another day. But I was like, yeah, you know, this is our school. Yeah, we're going to kick your ass. But the funniest thing about it is, like, they lost easily. Our step team just nailed it. And, you know, like, they came back and did another one. And that team just said, all right, well, we're just going to leave now. This kid came out, and he, like, cleared the path like he's going to do something fresh and shit. And then, like, we're waiting. Like, I mean, like, we're like, okay, he's going to come out and do something by himself. And our step team's waiting, so we're just waiting. And then, like, all of a sudden, he's like, all right, here we go. And he just starts doing a bunny hop from left to right. And we're just like, you son of a bitch, man. Like, we actually thought you were going to do something fucking hot, man. But he didn't do it. It was pretty funny. So, like, now we're just irritated beyond belief because it's cold. It's still kind of raining. We've barely done anything. They won't let us inside the stadium for some reason, which is the logical solution to this problem. We can go inside and rehearse because apparently the stage is set up for rehearsal inside, but they're not going to let us go inside. It just didn't make any sense. You know, so again, it came to the logical conclusion that they're like, oh crap, we should actually feed them. You know, and we're like, yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. You know, so it stops raining, thankfully. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to let y'all go inside too. We're like, hot damn, this is getting better and better. Everybody's looking at me, my hair's soaking wet. And they're just like, you're going to have the flu tomorrow. Oh, yeah, probably. You know. So, meanwhile, about this time, it's like, I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 5, could be somewhere around there. So they finally let us in the stadium. They give us these like cheap, like, oh God, it was like a barbecue turkey sandwich, and it was like one of those Oscar Mayer slices of turkey with like, somebody licked the barbecue sauce on there. Just, there you go, that's your barbecue sauce. Move on. So we were just like, really? Thankfully they had a Diet Coke. So I was able to drink Diet Coke. Because this is like when I first found out I was diabetic. So like I'm having to carry my kit with me and prick my finger. And people are like, what the hell's going on here? And like I freaked out. And we'll get to that. So we go inside. Finally, we've eaten. We've gone inside. We get on the field, and they're like, "Okay, now we actually see the stage, and we know we're standing. We know everything. We're like, okay, now it makes sense because we actually see the stage and shit." And they're like, "All right, let's move you guys to the stand." So we move on. So now we're looking like at the stage, and who comes out on stage? Motherfucking Janet Jackson. And she's just wearing like a sweatshirt and some jeans and shit. She's just, rocking it, going through it, man. Here comes JT, Justin Timberlake, who's in it. And he's wearing what he eventually wore at the Super Bowl, which I was like, oh, okay, cool, right on. Over here to the right, there comes Kid Rock and P. Diddy. Over here, which was cool. They're basically doing a dry run of the show just without all the fireworks and everything like that. And over here was, who was the other one that was there? It was Nelly. Oh, no, yeah, Nelly, because Kid Rock, P. Diddy, yeah, and then Nelly over here. Yeah, it was Nelly. He's over here, and again, he's wearing what he's eventually wore, too, which makes me really think that the Janet Jackson incident was planned, because everybody was wearing what they were going to wear that night except for Janet Jackson. So, don't get me wrong, I still love Janet. This camera's kind of slipping here. There we go. So, we're basically sitting there watching a dry run, which is really cool, but they're not even using us. Like, we know where we're standing. We're sitting there for hours. Now, remember earlier when they fed us, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like 11 o'clock now. And we've basically just been sitting there for hours, and like doing nothing. We're just like, it's to the point where just like, if you kill us, we'll be happy. Because like, we just wanted to get the hell out of there. We had school the next day. Some of us are usually in bed by now, So they finally let us go. We're on the fucking bus back to school. This was like the funniest fucking thing that happened. We're on the bus back to school, and there's that part in the Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation song where she's like, illiteracy, no, bigotry, no. So we're on the bus and we're fucking mocking that, because it's the only thing we could do, man. We were so freaking tired. It's like 12:30 at night now, 12:30, 1 a.m. because they kept us so long. So we're on the bus, we're doing that. Bigamy! No! Like one guy's saying it and we're just saying no back. And like, then I just take it to the next level. I just said, are we tired? And we're all like, yes! And then I said after that, I was like, we're going to school tomorrow! No! And we were like... It cracked us up, man, because half of us didn't go to school tomorrow, and then the ones that did, we probably bailed at lunch because we were just so freaking tired from that night. Because, especially somebody like me, I got home at 1 and had to get up for 5:30 to get up, get dressed, and walk to school because it was a good 1.5 miles or 2 miles to school that I walked. So once lunchtime came, I was like, fuck this. I'm too tired for the rest of the day. I'm out of here, man. So, the big day came, Super Bowl Sunday, we're there, man, we're ready to go, and this was the coolest fucking thing. We had to take a bus to take another bus, which is weird, but whatever. So we get on the other bus to head towards Reliance Stadium, which is where they're having the Super Bowl, and we had a police escort, man, like, all the school buses from all the Houston schools had a police escort right to the building, man. It was freaking dope, man. They had the cop motorcycles and cars and everything. We had a big line of buses, man. The highway was cleared for us, man. It was. I gotta admit, it was pretty freaking dope, man. It made us feel like we're stars and shit. And then we pull up in the parking lot, and then each bus had a representative from MTV, or MTV security, which this part kills me. We're pulling up in the parking lot, and the MTV security chick is like, you see that guy out there? He used to be a part of the band Youngstown. Now, if you don't remember the band Youngstown, Youngstown had one minor hit from the Inspector Gadget soundtrack, the live-action Inspector Gadget movie soundtrack back in the day. So I say out loud, I'm just like, whoa, ye the mighty have fallen, which is appropriate to me because this dude went from being in a boy band and having a minor hit on a major Disney soundtrack to being security in a parking lot at the fucking Super Bowl for MTV. All right? And this lady had nerve enough to look at me and say, oh, no, he hasn't fallen. He works with us now. I just let that one go. I was like, I'm not going to argue it. So we get off the buses. We go to the entrance. And in my right pocket is my diabetic kit, you know, in case I need to prick myself and find out if I'm good. They feel that, and they're like, what is that? I'm like, diabetic kit? And they're like, oh. They're like, they felt bad. They're like, oh, okay, you're good to go. So they give me a bracelet, and then they had to give me another bracelet to let them know that I was doing that. I have 2 bracelets. I actually have them shadow boxed. So we all get in, we all get bracelet, we're all trying to stay together, and we're at the wrong entrance. They brought us to the wrong entrance. They're like, okay, we have to go to the other side of the stadium. So everybody try and keep together. We're going to be running and stopping. Okay, and I'm thinking like, oh, I didn't know we had to go to the other side at the time. So I'm thinking we have to do a little running. No, we went on a fucking World War II Nazi death march. You know, it was like Jewish selection. You know, because we're running, and then stopping. Okay, we good? Okay, and they're like, all right, here we go again. Oh, fuck. You know, especially me at that time. Well, believe it or not, at that time, I was in shape. You know, believe it or not, it was rare. So, now at this point, I know I'm not going to see the game. But I'm at the fucking Super Bowl. I have to get a souvenir from the Super Bowl. That is my mission. I have $15 in cash in my pocket. All the security guards are wearing like a Super Bowl, whatever number it was had. You would think I know the number, but I don't. So every time we stop our Nazi death march, I'm asking all the security guards, I'm like, can I buy your hat for $15? Can I buy it? Can I buy it? One guy was like, hell yeah, you can. I was like, fucking A. But then that's when the fucking thing started moving again. I was like, son of a bitch. And then one lady wanted $50 for it. And I was like, you can kiss my ass, $50. So anyway, we end the death march. We're in the stadium now. We're like the tunnel, you know. Like all we got to do now is run out the tunnel and we're like in the field, essentially. So we basically stand there for the first 2 quarters of the game. You know, we can't see the game, but we can't even hear the game, to be honest. So there's a porta potty, like literally like 10 feet from where I'm standing. And I'm seeing people walk in and out of this porta potty. Finally, I see this lady with a pendant. Just, you know, one of them little flags says Carolina versus Patriots on it. She walks into the bathroom, and they told us, they're like, you cannot be holding any signs. You have to be wearing the same thing you wore at rehearsal, all this shit. So this lady walks into the bathroom, and I'm just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask her for it when it comes out. She comes out of the bathroom, I was, excuse me, ma'am. And she goes, yes. I was like, I'll give you $10 for that pennant right now. She was like, I only paid $5 for it. I was like, I didn't ask how much you paid for it. I said, I'll give you $10 for it right now. And she was like, okay. So, like, I put the pennant, like, under my shirt and shit, and I'm having to hold it like this the whole night so it don't fall out so I can keep my pennant because now I have something from the Super Bowl, you know? And this lady was like, okay, cool. And I gave her the $10 and everything. And people were pissed because I found a way to get a souvenir and nobody else could figure out how to get a souvenir. You know, there was a couple of people pissed. So we get on the field and they told us, they're like, okay, when you get on the field, enjoy yourselves, all that stuff. But when you see the fireworks go off, you guys better run because that stage is going to be coming right behind you. So we said, okay, cool. So we get out there, the show goes off and everything. And we're like, yeah, I'm standing with one guy. I was like, this is amazing. And he's like, yeah, have you naked by the end of this song. The fireworks go off. I'm like, whoa, yeah. I look to my left. This guy is gone. I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. So I book ass, okay? So check this out. This is like the best part of the fucking story. So I'm gone and like the line stopped. I'm like, why is the line stopping? They told us to move. So I look to my right, and there's nothing in this area. So I'm just like, well, they want us to move. We got to move. So fuck it. So I go under this tape here, and I start running. And then something amazing happens. It was like that scene in Ferris Bueller where, like, Ferris Bueller runs to the house. He's like, hey, oh, excuse me. Oh, it smells great. Hey, dinner's ready. I ran through the Carolina Panther cheerleaders. They were just coming back to their little area. And I seriously ran through them. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, you look good. Hey, beat them for me. Hey, see ya. Boom, and ran past them. It was like oh, God, it was so good, man. So then I run past all that shit, and nobody stopped me. Nobody stopped me and said, hey, you can't be over here. Nothing, man. I just booked it. And they're like, just get on the bus, and you'll get your bus when you get back. So we get on the bus. I get back to my school bus to go back to the school, and I get on the bus, and I'm like one of the first ones there. I was like, man, that was dope, man. Now, I mentioned the name earlier, Jonathan. Jonathan had a girlfriend, and Jonathan and his girlfriend are already there, and I get to the back of the bus. He's sitting in the back seat, and I get to the other back seat, and I was like, dude, that was amazing, wasn't it? And he was like, yeah, man, he was like, did you see it? I was like, of course, man, I saw it, man. I was fucking right there, man. Janet was like right there, man. It was dope. He was like, no, did you see what happened with Janet? And I was like, what? What do you mean what happened with Janet? I didn't see it. You know, he was like, dude, at the end, like, Justin Timberlake ripped her top off, man. You saw her titty and everything. I'm like, what? I didn't see this shit. You know, I was too busy having a fucking grand time, man. Being in the Super Bowl, all this shit. I'm like kicking the ground. I was trying to steal a piece of AstroTurf. That shit's hard. You can't just rip that shit up. It's not like grass. I was trying to. I was kicking the motherfucker too, man. Trying to steal a piece of AstroTurf from the Super Bowl. Oh, God. So, after that, they gave us a certificate, which I also have shadowboxed. I also have a t-shirt. Which is, I believe I still have it. It didn't fit then, because at the time, I think they gave us like an XL shirt, and I'm just like, motherfucker, don't you see there's a lot of us fluffy people here, you know? But overall, it was a great experience. I mean, I got to say, especially like once all the shit broke down, when people were like, Janet Jackson showed her titty, and like, you know, fucking CBS went nuts. The fact that I was part of one of the most infamous Super Bowl halftime show. It'd been one thing if I was part of like the Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show or the Prince one, but the fact that I was part of one of the most infamous Super Bowl halftime shows of all time, I just think it was mind blowing, and it was there was some shit that happened, you know, not feeding us and leaving us in the heat and the cold and the rain, but I think the show was worth it. Like, being able to watch the show and then the special bonus of me getting to run through the Carolina Panther cheerleaders and getting to, like, say shit to them, it was all worth it. It was fantastic, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world there, man. So, yeah, so there's my Super Bowl story. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Michael, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for the donation. And if anybody wants to see any kind of video they want, I'm hoping to do a mukbang. So if anybody wants to donate to that, Venmo, PayPal, in the description, it's down there. Make the dream come true, mukbang. I've been dying to do one ever since I saw Big Jiggly Panda do his the other day. He spent like $129 at Sonic. I don't want to spend that much, but yeah, if you want to help out, Venmo, PayPal, in the description. Thank you once again, Michael G, for the donation there. $30, just in case y'all are curious. He donated $30 to make this video happen. So I figured, hell, I might as well give him what he wants, you know? So thank you guys. Until next time, I am the Artist Version 1, and guess what? I'm out.